Hello friends, hope you all are doing well and staying safe. Welcome back to yet another video of the Football Mania to bring you all the latest news and exciting updates from the football world. It is arguably going to be the biggest night at the Emirates Stadium since Highbury was smashed into pieces and the Emirates came into inception. Yes, my friends, it is going to be that night where it could potentially be a title decider between Arsenal and Manchester City. And guess what? There is a lot at stake in this match because Arsenal still have a game in hand over Manchester City, and if they happen to beat Pep Guardiola's men, they would be 6 points clear with a game in hand. And on the flip side, if Manchester City win, they go directly above Arsenal on goal difference, having played an extra game. And psychologically, the entire title race will be in favor of Manchester City. There will always be that hurdle in Arsenal's way where you feel that they would drop more points. So that is why, in my opinion, this match is a must win for Arsenal more than Manchester City. And having dropped points against Brentford and Everton, Mikel Arteta knows how to get his team back on track. He has been talking in his pre-match press conference about how the team is looking forward to this fixture, especially because they were denied 2 points against Brentford due to VAR's mistake. And guess what? The Emirates is going to be packed to the rafters. There will be no empty seats, my friends, because this is the biggest night. If you look at the way Arsenal have played at the Emirates, if you just go back to the Champions League match against Barcelona in 2011, or it might even be the North London derbies, nothing, and I mean nothing, comes close to the symbolic fixture which is Arsenal versus Manchester City tomorrow early morning Indian Standard Time. And it is going to be a really tasty battle because there are so many subplots to this fixture, and the key talking point for Manchester City is whether Erling Haaland starts. In the previous encounter against Aston Villa, Erling Haaland was brought off with a slight niggle on his thigh and it was looking like an hamstring. We are not sure whether he would make it to the squad at the Emirates, and it would be really important for Arsenal. Even if Haaland does not play the game, they need to keep Manchester City quiet, and that is a really tough task. The reason why I say this is because their wingers are in form. Both Jack Grealish and Riyad Mahrez are playing at a level which is really good, and they are playing with a mojo, they are playing with a swagger, and that was evident in their 3-1 bashing over Aston Villa in the previous match. And Arsenal have a lot at stake, my friends. Obviously, the talking point being whether Gabriel Martinelli starts for the Gunners, because there has been a dip in form lately and he has not looked the same Martinelli which we saw before the World Cup. And there is a kind of rumor spreading that Trossard can start over Martinelli, but I feel that for such a huge match, Mikel Arteta is a very principled manager. He would stick to his guns and he would allow the same starting 11 which has been so consistent previously, and he would expect that same starting 11 to deliver. That has been the blueprint of Mikel Arteta, my friends. We have seen a very stable starting 11, and that is a sign of a team which is looking towards glory. And having talked about their chances for the title race, you also need to assess the situation, and depending upon the situation you need to make tactical tweaks which works best based on your opponents. And let's be honest, we will not see Manchester City sitting deep and hitting Arsenal on the counter attack. They won't play like Everton and Brentford for sure. They would like to come out at Arsenal. They would play some expansive football, and that is the reason it is going to be a really open match. And if they are, bombing forward when their fullbacks are higher up the pitch, that would allow Martinelli and Bukayo Saka to run on their defenders. It can be even a 3v2 situation at times, and that all depends on how Arsenal create those chances on the counter attack, because every time Arsenal start the game on the front foot, they have been very lethal. And against a team like Manchester City, you just don't require them to control the possession. You also need to, completely frustrate them. You need to stifle them and ensure that they are not able to play their free flowing football. And that is something which Mikel Arteta knows too well about Pep Guardiola. He knows exactly what Pep thinks. He knows exactly the tactical tweaks which Pep would make going into this match. And I am expecting a really strong Manchester City. Even if Haaland does not play, in the back line you have the composure of Ruben Diaz and John Stones. And having said that, this is Pep, and in the biggest of matches, he has always changed his personnel. And it would be really interesting to see whether, Julian Alvarez will start this match, because he has always used Kevin De Bruyne or Phil Foden as a false number 9 last season, and that also worked, my friends. And there is something really unpredictable about Pep when it comes to choosing a starting 11. And Arsenal, in all honesty, I am expecting the same 11, because even though they have not been performing at their best, which is expected out of them, but still they have what it takes to really silence Manchester City. And I feel that the battle in the midfield between the two best number 6 in the Premier League so far, Rodri and Thomas Partey, that battle will be really crucial, my friends. And I'm also looking forward to Riyad Mahrez up against Alexander Zinchenko. The fact I say this is because Mahrez is a baller, my friends. He knows how to control the tempo of the game, and he knows when to accelerate, when to decelerate, and that is something which Alexander Zinchenko has to be wary of, because defensively in 1v1 situations, Zinchenko is not the same player. When Arsenal have possession of the ball, he knows where to be in the pitch, and he can dictate the tempo of the game, because he can play like an inverted fullback, he can play like a midfielder, and Arteta knows how to get the best out of Zinchenko. However, will Arteta take a gamble and start Kieran Tierney? Because if Martinelli starts, he would require Kieran Tierney to overlap, because that is where Martinelli is at his best. Whenever he has an overlapping fullback, that is the time when Martinelli gets the freedom to come inside and put in those beautiful crosses or even take a shot. So, guys, I'm really looking forward to these sub battles, these subplots, and the kind of mind games which are going on between Arsenal and City are just amazing at the moment. Yes, Arsenal are the new rivals of Manchester City, because even if you look at the fixture last season, when Manchester City came to the Emirates Stadium, Arsenal lost by 2 goals to 1. However, everybody knows that they were the better team. They got robbed by the referee because he gave away a penalty which was quite soft in my opinion, and Arsenal should have at least deserved a point out of that game. And that is something which we can talk in hindsight. However, this team at the moment is really gelled well. They are really cohesive, and they know each other's roles and responsibilities. And in order to dictate Arsenal's gameplay, Martin Odegaard needs to step up his game, because last 2 or 3 games he has been quite silent. He has been taking too many touches of the ball. He's not been able to release the ball at pace to his wingers so that he can play in those incisive passes. And everything has been down to how Martin Odegaard's positional play is on the pitch. And if he gets it right, if he gets into those key half spaces where he can hurt Manchester City, well, it is going to be a really tasty battle to look forward to. And on the flip side, Kevin De Bruyne is their most creative playmaker. It would be interesting to see where he picks up those spaces. and who will be able to mark his runs, because he is a very unpredictable midfielder. He can float around in the number 10 just behind Erling Haaland, or he can go into those wings and put in those really vicious dangerous crosses. So guys, this has so many sub battles, and Arteta has never got the better of Manchester City except the FA Cup 2 years back when they defeated them in the semi-final. And if you just look at the last 10 fixtures between these two teams in the Premier League, Manchester City have an aggregate scoreline of 26 goals to 3. That just goes to show that this fixture has been dominated by the citizens, and in order to just have some happiness, Arsenal need to win this match, and there is no reason why they cannot do it, because obviously the Emirates will be packed, the atmosphere will be electric, and the fans have to really inspire this team in order to get the better of Manchester City. So if you ask about my personal prediction for this match, it is a really tough one, but I would be going for a safe 1-1 draw, completely because both teams will be cancelling out each other, and it is going to be a really tight game, even though it will be really expansive and exciting to watch. So guys, even if it's a draw, I am expecting Arsenal to maintain that 3 point lead. It would be better for them even if it's a draw, but a win would do a lot to their confidence heading into the business end of the season. So, guys, I would love to know what are your predictions, what are the key battles which you are looking forward to. Please put it in the comment section. And if you like this video, please do me a favor, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, because I'll be coming up with lots of content from the world of football. So please stay tuned, and until next time, stay safe and take care.